Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Taurus, wherever Taurus falls for you, which is so funny actually because we have that Taurus new moon today. Everybody keeps saying that this is like an incredible new moon to manifest under. Excuse me. And I have my shake. I've been doing protein shakes because I'm so sick of food. I'm just sick of figuring out what to eat and anyway, I'm like, we have to do this for the rest of our lives. Rude. So anyway, I think it's also fitting that I'm like, I have my protein shake for a Taurus reading. I'm a Taurus sun, by the way. So there's that. You know what I didn't put in there today? Banana. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, so Taurus, wherever Taurus is for you. I'm sorry, I feel like... Okay. Thanks for coming along on the journey. So, Taurus, wherever Taurus is for you, even if you're just watching this because it is a Taurus new moon today, welcome. The card that came out for you is Highest Self. How beautiful is that? I love that, there's all this energy coming from the heart center, even though, these colors aren't in order, but that's okay. It's like that ripple effect, right? Like when you drop something in water or whatever, and it's like, the ripple effect, the butterfly effect, even the 9 of effing cups came out first. Love that. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Love that. What a good start for Taurus. Hello? We have the Queen of Swords. We have the 5 of Swords. Interesting. Under the 9 of Cups. Interesting. We have the King of Cups under the Ace of Pentacles. And then the Death card at the end of the reading, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is the sister sign to Taurus, right? And look who we have at the bottom of the deck. We have the Sun card. So, this is a really good reading. That 5 of Swords, I just kind of get this feeling of protecting your peace, not really letting anybody bring you down, change your mind. Obviously we'll get to that. That was just my original intuition about it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay. So the Higher Self card says, your highest self exists outside of time. They are wise, aligned with your path and purpose, always gently supporting you and calling you toward them. They have the answer to your questions and whisper words of guidance and love. Sometimes it's easier to hear that self than others. If you can't, get quiet and go inward. You can reach them through creativity, meditation, nature, or simply relaxing with a cup of tea. Your highest self is your guide, mentor, counselor, and is always there for you in times of need or when you're shining your brightest. Your higher self is whispering to you softly in the silence between your thoughts. And how very Taurus, too, because it's basically saying that if you are struggling to hear your higher self, or if you're struggling to connect with your higher self, get comfortable, create a space of luxury type of thing, because Taurus is all about creature comforts. And, Aries starts with the head, Taurus is the mouth and throat. That's why, they always correlate Taurus with food, which to me is a little annoying. But then I'm like, here I am drinking a protein shake in a Taurus reading, and I'm a Taurus sun. So, there's some truth to that. If there's a weird edit to this, just know I'll probably just edit out the times that I'm drinking this shake, because I don't know if you guys want to see that either, but I don't want it to sit there because I put some psyllium husk in there and it could get weird if I just let it sit, you know, upping my fiber intake. So we start with the 9 of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. Your desires being met. Cups are our emotions, heart center, right? And even like I was saying, this ripple effect coming from this figure's heart center. It really is, you know, doing the things that you enjoy, finding joy, finding, you know, bliss in your life. It really is like, you know, following your heart. If it doesn't feel good, don't effing do it. Obviously within reason. It's not like we can all just quit our jobs and whatever, unless you can. And if you can, and if that's what feels good, I'm not saying either way. But right, it is like, you know, in those moments where you have access to it, you know, like really find what feels good and really follow that, because it's just going to create more opportunity for things that make you feel good. That ripple effect. So in this specific 9 of Cups, this elephant just came out of a cave over here. And, you know, that was quite the journey. Just being worried, like, where's that light at the end of the tunnel? Where's my people type of thing? And then they come out and they find all these other elephants, you know, in this beautiful scenery. So, you know, I mean, there could have been a journey that you've been on for some time, depending on where Taurus is in your chart. I mean, if you're a Taurus rising, it would have to do with, you know, a journey of self-discovery. Who are you, right? Who am I? For me, it's my 11th house, communities, right? You know, like friendships, hopes and dreams, goals, that type of thing. So that to me, there's a lot of yellow out here on the table too that I know you can't like see because I don't have the overhead thing going this time around again. And yellow is solar plexus, right? Which is like creativity, expression type of thing. So that could be something that you're manifesting, something that you have been working on, even figuring out. So like I said, we have the 5 of Swords under that. And this specific 5 of Swords, right? Like that's why I was just kind of getting this feeling about like protecting your peace. Let's see what the book says. This book has little keywords and I love keywords. It says confrontation, misdirection of emotions, anger, holding a grudge. After many days, the sun comes down to confront the moon. He blames the moon for letting the star fall, since it was under her watch of the night sky. The sun's misplaced anger fuels him to act upon his impulsive intentions. Interesting. Yeah. You know, I mean, the 5 of Swords. So swords have to do with our mind, thoughts, beliefs, truth and honesty, but like divine truth, objective truth. I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds, and our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, people, feelings, whether they're our stories or not, and whether they're true or not. But it's the filter that, you know, information comes into our awareness, into our consciousness. It goes through the filter of our ego, and then it spits out some perception of what we believe our reality is. Which is also why, you know, when they say, you know, like when you're in the process of manifesting something, you know, like there's that saying of we create our reality, or like we can create our reality, or we can manifest our reality. We have to be really kind of careful even with that, because where are we getting stuck in our ego, right? Like where are we manifesting from our ego, which is old shit. You know, the ego is created by things in the past, but it's regurgitating the same story, the same, you know, subjective, whatever outlook. It's all based on past, whatever. It's like that saying, you know, like doing what is it? Like doing something the same way and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. That's all ego. Like, so even, even manifesting this 9 of Cups for you, because this is individual. This is what you want. That's your vision for your life. That's how you want to feel, not how you want others to feel around you or how you want to operate in a group or something. 9s are individual completion. So, the 9 of Cups is what you want to feel, how you want to feel in your life, what you want to even project out into the world. So again, with this 5 of Swords, I just kind of feel, because there's literally nothing else that's like negative on this table except for this 5 of Swords. And I feel like it's saying not to go about it in a way of, for 1, ego, for 2, past shit. It's like, don't go about it in a way of, I don't want this, or, like, because of this experience that I have, I want, now the opposite, or I want something else. It's like, don't even consider the past. If there's, a story that's coming to mind for what you want to manifest, ask yourself why you want that specific thing. Even going back to this highest self, because that is the pure version of ourselves without ego, right? Without consciousness, without having those past experiences, the hurt, the trauma, the rejection, betrayal, whatever it is, right, that created our stories and our ego. Like, the highest self, or our higher self, is really trying to help us be our best selves, And 2, even, are you placing blame somewhere else for where you're at in your life? Like, where can you take responsibility? Because usually when we're saying you're the reason why, this is the reason why, they're the reason why, whatever, that's usually an I statement. We have some guilt or some shame wrapped around an experience that, we're projecting blame onto somebody else, when really we're just pissed that we got bamboozled, or, we acted a certain way, or we were hurt in a specific kind of way, right? So I'm not saying either. I'm not saying to not place responsibility and accountability where it's due, but in regards to this card, we can say that, what? This person really fucked me up. They were a terrible person. I had a terrible experience with them, or whatever the case may be, right? There was something that went on. Or just maybe it was an entire experience, whatever it is, right? And we can say that that person has that responsibility in that story. I can place the responsibility and the quote unquote blame on them for their part, right? But now, like, what am I carrying around from that experience, where, like, I'm holding on to the energy of that thing, and it's affecting the way that I operate, even the way that I manifest what I want out of my life, right? So in that sense, it's taking responsibility in that way. There's also like that saying that says, the trauma you received is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal from it. So then, like, after that, we move on to the Ace of Pentacles, which I love. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time. Where are we investing our time? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? It's also our physical health. Anything that we place value and worth on, our possessions, materials, resources. Aces are new. And this card is specifically talking about the sea producing stones. I opened right to the page. It says, The first moment of creation, the sea expels a single stone inscribed with the rune Berkana, a symbol for birth. In this moment, opportunities engulf the sea with a chance for new life. Creation, manifestation, new opportunity, increasing interest. Like, how perfect is that for this, for this reading, for this moon today? Like I said, everybody has been saying that this is, a beautiful new moon to manifest under. We do set intentions for, under new moons. So, but really, though, it's like really getting clear on, if you, it's interesting. So I'll give you an example. And I want to journal about this a little bit later today. Like I already feel like, I want to be like all comfy. I'm planning on like going to like a coffee shop or something and doing some work there. And just again, being kind of like comfy. I feel like being out in public, which is kind of funny because like I said, my Taurus is in my 11th house. So, just kind of being out and about like in public, right? It is literally snowing right now. And it's sunny outside. I don't even know where that's coming from. It's not quite snow. It's like the little white pellets. That is so interesting when that happens. I wish I could show you guys. So weird. Anyway, so I was laying in bed last night and I don't know where this even came from. I might have actually seen a video on TikTok about this Taurus new moon because I've seen like 5 trillion of them. And I watch every single one of them. But I was laying in bed, just, kind of getting comfy, shutting everything down, like I put my phone down, getting, just kind of situated, getting comfy, doing my little, Taurus thing. And I was like, what do I actually want to manifest this time around? And from this place, I'm not even sure where it came from, the feeling of peace came over me. And then eventually, like, the word presented itself. And I was just like, I could have dropped a damn tear because it just felt different. It wasn't, I want to manifest, buku bucks. Like, I want to have the best month financially that I've had. Or, I want to manifest 1,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube or something, right? Like, it wasn't anything like that because ultimately it's like, what would those, like manifesting money or manifesting, like subscribers or, whatever, like, even having a little bit more time, like, making sure that I'm honoring my boundaries and having time for rest and blah, 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 right? Like all these things. And the underlying vibration or whatever you want to call that, I'll just call it a vibration, was peace. So that's going to be my word. Anyway, so again, like, I love that the word manifestation even came through with this creation. What do you want to create? Again, aces are brand new. There could be a new opportunity coming into your life, like based on, getting clear about what is your 9 of Cups, listening to your higher self. And then we have the King of Cups next. This card is so interesting to me. First of all, cups, we talked about cups, our emotions, our heart center, how do we feel about things? It's even our relationship to love, vulnerability, empathy, compassion. It could also be, of course, intuition, your gut feeling type of thing. Kings are the highest expression of the suit. So there's somebody who, in a sense, has mastered something. It's even, being in the King of Cups energy, which is, just clarity of emotion, being emotionally mature and control of your emotions. Generally people look to the king for guidance, like being a shoulder for somebody. I definitely really struggle with vulnerability. Like I have Pluto conjunct Saturn in my 5th house. which I do feel like encompasses vulnerability. It's in my 4th house and whole sign, 5th house and Placidus, and I feel like they both matter. I mean, they both make sense. But I just struggle with that. So I'm trying to be more aware of it. And instead of shutting down, I'm trying to give myself space to like, it like my emotions like shoot all the way up because I feel like there's an expectation to like respond in a certain way and have a certain kind of advice and be helpful and blah, blah, blah. Right. But then I'm like freaking out. This whole thing happened. So I'm trying to give myself space and awareness for that to happen, and then wait for, that neutral. I'm emotionally defined. Like I have emotional authority in human design, although I'm sure that does play a part in it. But anyway, just trying to be, again, just more aware of that, and even practicing, like not shrinking. And what I find so interesting about this card is that there's a sword on the ground and they're holding a wand. This is actually the staff or whatever that the devil is holding in this tarot deck. But it also looks like how the wands are illustrated. Let me just find it. I know this reading is going to be long as hell, but we're Tauruses, right? We take our time. Oh my gosh, of course. Watch it be at like it was literally the second card from the top. The Wheel of Fortune is at the top of the deck, which is kind of funny. But I mean, look at the similarities between, this staff and theirs. I mean, it looks similar to me. But then let me find a wands card. We didn't have to go far for that, at least. See the wands? It looks closer actually to the wands, which is better. I mean, the devil card talks about the things that control us. It's ego, right? And we had a talk about ego. So even if, and just the fact that came to mind, I feel like, again, this is somebody who has a handle. It's not operating from an egoic emotional space, because generally too, our reactions to things, our emotions to things comes from our ego also. Even me and my struggle with vulnerability, like I know there's, shame in there somewhere. I know that, at some point I felt rejected, when I was trying to be vulnerable or just not understood, blah, 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 right? So it's being aware of that, even if it is also a wand. Wands are about action, the motivation behind the actions that we take, creativity, passion, how we're communicating those things, what actions are we taking towards those things. So again, right, I mean, they're holding that. And then we have this sword on the ground. To me, that has felt like walking in your truth. I mean, it looks like they're about to step on it. So even there could be something like an identity, a mask that with the swords you thought was true for you, and you're discovering that it's not. You're changing your mind. We can change our mind a million fucking times in our lifetimes. If we thought one thing was true for a while, once we discover that it's not true, or even if our truth changes, right, we can change our mind at any time. And of course, be sure to give yourself a ton of grace, a ton of compassion. Be sure that you're also, like filling yourself with love, that you're just, whatever spaces are being cleared out, like with ego or whatever, like whatever you're healing. Because for me, like in my healing little journey, it was like, what would I replace? Like, as far as an identity or behavior or thought pattern or even an emotional pattern, what would I put there in place of it? And I didn't know. I don't think we're necessarily supposed to know, but all we know is that that's no longer true for us. We're not going to carry that pain or whatever anymore. And I started just to envision filling it with love, filling it with compassion, filling it with grace, and just almost kind of allowing it to unfold on its own. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Again, swords have to do with our mind. All the things that we talked about with swords. Queens are when we embody the energy of the suit to ourselves. So this is getting clarity of mind. This is discovering your own truth. Even, in this card, the sun had the moon at sword point. Here, they're free. Even the sun at the bottom of the deck being where it should be instead of, threatening the damn moon. And it is interesting because we do have that new moon today. So the sun and the moon are going to be, fairly close together at some point today. So that's even kind of interesting how that's even worked out. It says mental breakthrough, focused thinking, planning ahead, propelling forward. Hell yeah. Yes. Okay. The moon, hello. Moon, well rested and clear mind, charges through the bright sky, creating star after star with her magic. Perhaps one day the sun will realize that taking the time to plan ahead would catapult him much further than rushing through. There's this whole storyline, like through the swords suit, clearly, of this sun and moon, like going back and forth. And there's a star in there. So it is a little like confusing a little bit to me anyway, like if we don't have like the whole story, but I love that. Focused thought, planning ahead, going for it, like it's even just like a shift of mindset. We have the, I was going to try to drink and talk at the same time, like, hello. We have the death card next, which, like I said, is Scorpio. We have cups, pentacles, swords out here. I guess the sun is out here too. I mean, we have a lot of fire at the bottom of the deck, or at least some fire. So everybody's here. So the death card says that every new beginning disguises itself as an end. Something has to end in order for something new to begin. I love that this card is at the end of the reading too, because this tells me that whatever was holding you back before, you're making a conscious decision with the Queen of Swords to end that way of being, that way of thinking, that way of feeling, the way of approaching. Because the death card is more about rebirth and transformation than it is about like the word death. However, it is not possible if something doesn't end. You have to change the way that you're going about something. That whole, doing something the same way and expecting the same result does not work. It's realizing that. And even if you don't know how to do something differently, it's at least the conscious decision to not take the same steps that you did before. It's waiting until you find a different solution, waiting until a new idea comes to mind, just not going about things the same way. And that's how transformation takes place. Even just like a small difference, not having coffee right in the morning because it spikes your blood sugar, because you put too much cream in it, sweetener, whatever. Waiting until maybe after you have your protein shake that has a ton of fiber in it, because that shouldn't spike your blood sugar as much, as one example, whatever. Like it really is like recognizing that there's something that the approach needs to change around. You're going to be doing that. You have like this plan. And also even recognizing we're talking about Taurus, we're talking about Earth. Give it time. Keep trying, right? Like things that manifest in the 3D at a slower rate than we think they should, right? So give it time. Keep trying. We have the Sun card again at the bottom of the deck, which is joy, bliss, everything good. The sun is exactly where it should be, not threatening the moon, shining bright, right? This is also rejuvenation, rebirth, like feeling alive again. We have the Two of Wands, planning for the future. There's all this, magic coming out of those two wands, and it's like What do I want to do with that? What direction do I want to focus that attention, that energy on? Like I said, wands are action. I think I said that. Communication. I did say that. Creativity, passion. I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works and what doesn't. So this is, planning for, what am I going to try next? What kind of, like new thing can I do? We have the high priestess, which is interesting because that's very much connected to highest self. This is being in tune with our star player. She's also ruled by the moon. So, we have that moon today. We also have the Queen of Pentacles behind her. Let me see who Capricorn. I don't have all these memorized. Taurus is the Knight. I thought anyway, I don't know. Intuition. She also talks about like secrets. So it's also too like, if you've been, hiding parts of yourself or not expressing yourself in a way that is authentic for you, then it's an opportunity to do that. We have the Queen of Pentacles, which is interesting because this little hermit crab is hiding behind the kelp. Here, again, queens are when we embody the energy of the suit to ourselves. Pentacles, this is very nurturing. Mother hen type of vibe. Let me just see what we're wrapping it up here. Just an FYI. Creature comforts, familiarity, happy home life, self-care. Yes. The Hermit Queen hides behind the kelp forest, clutching a pearl in her claws. She is a creature of comforts and takes pleasure knowing that all she needs is within claw's reach. She does not yearn for more, but instead blissfully content to have such a giving home. This card to me, every time I've seen it though, it does have this vibe of like coming out from behind. But I also love the whole, being grateful for what you do have and for what it's given you. We have the Two of Cups, which is connections, shared values. You could be meeting people that are just on the same, level as you. We have the Justice card, which is Libra. Again, the scales balancing, fairness, even just after the Two of Cups, like it could be just a fated union type of thing, like just really like kind of finally meeting that person, the people that really just click with you. We have the World card, the end of a cycle. I love that, it's almost kind of like ushering in the light here, transitioning from nighttime to daytime. It's like, again, ushering in a new cycle. We have the Six of Wands, which is success, victory, being recognized. I love all of that. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. How long has it been? 41 minutes, almost 42. So thank you so much for going on this journey with me, and happy new moon in Taurus. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.